So let's start off by looking back at Tuesday in hindsight. Firstly, how did you feel about the performance?
If I'm honest, it was a poor performance, and we got what we deserved against the better team on that occasion. We just weren't at the races, and in the grind of a long season, it's inevitable. It will happen sometimes, but you get judged on how you react to it, and hopefully we'll be a lot better on Saturday, and I'm sure we will be.
How disappointing in context now is it to have gone out of the FA Cup already?
Well, it's very disappointing. It would have been great to have gone on a really good run in the FA Cup, but it wasn't to be, and there isn't any positive to take from that other than I'm sure that we got everything out of our assistant after the game, but the thing is, at this club we don't bruise easily, and you can't afford to, and we're all coming in bright and breezy, and the lads have trained well, and there's no sulking.
We'll come on to that in a second, but you said about no positives. I guess at least it wasn't extra time and penalties. There was none of that to get out your system afterwards.
Well, there is that, yeah. Not that we were buzzing about it on the way home. You always think that we've got a chance of getting back into it, even when 8 minutes went up from the fourth official. We thought, you never know. But on the night, we weren't creative enough, and lessons have been learned.
So you've been back in training today. What sort of response have you had from your players?
Well, as I suspected, they've been very positive, and they've shown a bit of edge in training and real desire. But we've got a good group, there's no doubt about it. And one thing we'll be focusing now on is Dagenham, and we're 1 point from the top of the leaderboard, which is, we've got ourselves in a great position, and we want to take advantage of that.
Just sitting watching the end of your training session, the players were up for it, weren't they? Even just in a friendly game between themselves, it's stunning how much passion there is on that pitch between them.
Oh, 100%. Tackles are flying, going in flying, and that's what you want to see in training. How much a win or loss situation means to them, and I think if you have that in training, that you've got a heck of a chance of replicating it on the pitch come game time. We've got a good group. That's for sure, character-wise, and they'll be hurt from probably what was said to them after the game, because I thought it was a bit flat, the performance, and a game of such magnitude. We wanted to get it right, but as I say, it's all in the learning curve. We can't take anything for granted. We can't just turn up at a place and be half-hearted. And I think, I hope I'm saying it's the last time I'll be talking about a flat performance this season.
As a fan, when you see a performance like that, it can take days to get over, depending on what your makeup is, if you like, of your character. How about you as a manager? How long really does it take you to get over things like that?
Well, I was up after about 4 hours because my kids were jumping on me, so I had to quickly move into dad mode, and that took my mind off it. But yeah, I mean, the times during the day after, you've got to allow yourself to just come round, really, and you're deflated. If you want to be a winner, which we all do, then losing's got to hurt. But allow that period of grieving, if you like, and then next day though, you must move on. You know, I've got to convey the message, as has Paul Thurwell, to the players that listen. No one's died. You know, it's a bad result, a game of football, but we're 1 point off the top of the table, which is a fantastic situation to be in. That's the motivation for us now to build on what's been a superb start to the season.
Not dwelling on that performance, but as your reaction as a manager, are there times when you maybe not expressing to the players exactly how you feel because you know you need to take them into a certain direction?
Yeah, but I think it's just life in football has taught me that even if you go inside yourself and within yourself and you're a bit quiet, well, yeah, don't be like that in front of the players. You know, obviously I'm now on the outskirts sometimes, I'm watching training, but certainly you won't find me blanking any player, because I just think you're like a petulant school kid if that's how you behave. I think I like to think I'm positive, as is Paul. And Rachel, the physio, everyone's got to be positive, because you know that has actually gone. You know, we can only control the attitudes and the tactics, the way we want to go forward now.
So onto that game against Dagenham, you want a reaction. Dagenham struggling near the bottom end of the table. It should be a good chance for you, shouldn't it?
I think any game's a good opportunity to show what we're about, and it's starting on Saturday. watched the game when they played against Wrexham and narrowly lost to Wrexham, and it was a really hard game for Wrexham, because we spoke to them actually after the game about it. So again, you can't take any game for granted. We'll be travelling tomorrow, preparing properly, training, eating the right stuff, and doing it, ticking all the boxes that we possibly can, and look forward to Saturday arriving and really get cracking into a new game of football.
I was going to say, how important is it for your players to have the right attitude, but having seen them, just as I say, the last few minutes of training, that's not in question, is it?
No, thanks for vouching for that. No, I mean, times could be worse, couldn't they? You know, the sun's shining, we're playing football, and they're a good group of honest lads, so we've got so much to go for this season. Had a board meeting before the session, and all of the KPIs and objectives of the club, we've set targets and we're overachieving. We're achieving above those targets at the minute, and if we can keep on in that same vein, then it's going to have been a good season for the club.
So let's look at the team news. Any bother from the other night? Any injuries from over the weekend?
We're hoping to hear from Dominic Knowles that the injection again has had a positive effect. It's another injection into his big toe, so hopefully that big toe isn't getting bigger and bigger. But the other lads have come through okay. A few bruises, but I don't think anyone wanted to miss training today, and everyone was sharp.
Just remind us what Dominic Knowles' problem is.
It's a problem with his toe that's bone bruising, and it's taken a lot of time to heal. He's a big player for us, but the others have got to stand up and be counted and make sure that that void he leaves is filled up, and someone else grabs the game by the scruff of the neck in the attacking third.
And you're clearly in a position where at the moment you've got plenty of cover there and people doing their jobs.
That's right. No place isn't up for grabs. You know, at this club we're trying, you know, with the wages within certain parameters, and no one's suffering, but no one's way above anyone else, so there's no ill feeling. But with that, it means there's no added pressure, you know, to pick any individual above anyone else. So, but we have a way of thinking that, you know, everyone has a bad game from now and then, but 2 bad games and you're under pressure because of the quality of the squad.